should come inside, make you feel something that's nice. I'm not perfect, it's just life. You know how we go, always moving with the flow. Play for keeps, play some shows in the six with my wings. Ride high, touch the sky, if you're eager you can fly. Find some place you can thrive, picture perfect just in time. It's fine, I'm okay, dancing around the words I say. It don't matter either way, you know I'm here to stay. Wanna be with you tonight, you don't get on my nerves. I wanna be with you tonight, and you don't wanna get hurt. Swear, right, I'm a fight, see the name of flashing lights. When it's over, catch a vibe. It's alright cause I don't mind who, what, where, how. That's not just what I'm about. If you look at what you found, get me closer to the take my heart cause it was freezing. What you say is what you do. Look outside and catch the feeling. Let me know because I'm gonna be with you.
David Baerwald was born in Oxford, Ohio in 1960, the restless son of a blacklisted academic and a mother who kept the family moving between Los Angeles and Tokyo. He came up hard, juvenile, delinquent, street smart with a poet's tongue and hands that already knew how to coax truth out of a guitar. In 1986, he detonated onto the scene as half of David and David. Their debut, Boomtown, wasn't polished pop. It was a cracked windshield view of Los Angeles at its ugliest and most alive. Crooked cops, corner dealers, and dreamers bleeding out on the pavement. Welcome to the Boomtown still hits like a police siren in the rearview mirror. When the duo cracked apart, Baerwald went deeper. Bedtime Stories, 1990, and Triage in 93 were quiet, knife-edged solo records that refused to look away from the rot underneath everyday life. He stepped back, sharpened his edge, then resurfaced, writing key tracks for Sheryl Crow's Tuesday Night Music Club, co-penning the Golden Globe-winning Come What May for Moulin Rouge, and trading lines with everyone from Joni Mitchell and Rickie Lee Jones to Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Hans Zimmer, and Baz Luhrmann. 4 decades of fingerprints on American music, yet he never chased the lights. He just kept carving dark, funny, devastating little truths. Now he's done something no one saw coming. Early June 2nd to be exact, Spiegel and Grau dropped his new debut novel, The Fire Agent. It's not a songwriter's vanity project. It's the secret life of his very own grandfather, Ernst Baerwald, German-Jewish linguist, musician, and unlikely spy recruited in 1900 with the perfect cover inside the chemical giant that became IG Farben. The book hurdles across 2 world wars, Tokyo Yakuza alleys, European royal gigs, double love affairs, and the Nanking Massacre, FDR's underground networks, chemical weapons programs, fascism blooming on every continent, with one impossible choice that could have ended it all. David grew up partly in Tokyo, so the Japan passages carry the weight of lived memory no outsider could fake. The Fire Agent reads like espionage on fire, a spy thriller, a war epic, a love story, and a family ghost tale braided into one fevered, morally gray roar. Early readers are calling it the real thing, page-turning, epic, and dangerously alive. David Baerwald has spent a lifetime turning the underbelly into song. Now he's handed us the fire itself, straight from the family vault. Welcome to the music train, David Baerwald.
You're here.
Hi,
What's
Bessie.
up, David? Good to see you.
Long time.
I can't believe that we met in Venice so long ago and that you're back and everything's different. It's a whole new world. You're a novelist now.
That is
and
correct.
This is something that's been in the works for your entire life. I think we spoke about how you had begun writing songs so that you'd be able to better write a novel.
That's correct. Yes, that was one of my secret agendas was songwriting, was learning how to write other things as well.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody tuned in. Mr. Buchanan is in the house from Singapore. Welcome, everybody. A shout out to our sponsors. Let us know where you're tuned in. Shout out to X, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're tuned in from. Thank you so much for supporting the show with your viewership. You showing up to watch the show is why we do the show and the only reason that we do the show. Shout out to Hardistry for the opening track, and another shout out to our sponsors here. We're going to get into it. Fire Agent is dropping June 2nd on all bookstores. So you guys have to go get it. You have to find out. This is a historical fiction novel that David spent, I believe, the past 7 years writing. And it's based largely on his grandfather, Aaron Baerwald, who he's going to tell you more. I'll be right back. So, David, the novel's 624 pages. Did you know what exactly you were going to get into when you began this? And have you ever tried to write a novel before? I'm just wondering how, you and I met in Venice, just to give everybody a little bit of a quick backstory. Back in the early 2000s, I had ventured off to Los Angeles to become a star. And David was like, you don't want to learn how to work the Neve board and be an engineer. You want to be out playing music for people, like on the stage. And at that time, I was such a little young buck. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to play music. I want to play the songs I wrote. And it's very important to me. And David, I just remember always kind of mentoring me, kind of like a father, and bringing in, session players for amazing sessions with like, Fishbone, Norwood Fisher, Angelo Buckethead, Jim Keltner, Waddy Wattel, all these big players. I didn't really know who they were before they came to Palindrome Studios in Venice. And shout out to the person that introduced us. You know who you are if you're watching. And David, how did it happen that you moved from, you've done some really huge things in music. How did it happen that you moved to writing novels?
I had a book to write.
There were the fires. There were the LA fires.
Yeah, it was during. Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, listen, this is stuff that I've been looking for my whole life.
Yes.
I've been adding things up, but the thing that triggered it was, yes, it was during the Skirball fires. My house was surrounded on 3 sides at one point with flames, and I was trying to clear this house out, and in the in one of the storage cabinets there were these boxes, and in these boxes there was this score of documents and photographs and letters and artifacts, which just completely changed my life. I was like, okay, well, that's it.
You knew right away. I mean, yeah. It's your grandfather. So were you born in the U.S.?
I was born in Ohio, yeah.
Okay, you're born in Ohio. That's right. That's what it said in the beginning. The only reason is because I'm confused. I'm reading the book that you sent me right now. You guys, it's not available yet, but I do have a copy and I'm reading it. I'm very excited. So your father was born in Tokyo?
Yeah, my father was born in
Tokyo. Your father was born in Tokyo. And okay, so you found these pictures, you found these journals. And you knew right away that you needed to write this. And so it's a historical fiction novel, but how much of it would you say is actually based on, I mean, I'm becoming educated in reading the book, David. Honestly, there's with regards to what happened on March 10th in 1945 and with the 459 bombers that, cleared Tokyo and 100,000 lives were lost just like that. That's just, I'm already like, people don't really know, how much there has happened in regards to that specifically. So
yeah, that's surprisingly underreported. It was a savage bombing. It was a fire bombing. It was it was designed to kill civilians, on a mass scale. So, yeah,
because they were building the not that there's a reason to ever do that. I'm totally against all of that.
Well, I mean, you're getting a little into the weeds there. Yeah, they were, the Japanese people were, there was a lot of home industry in Japan, but it was home industry like belt buckles or uniforms or, they weren't making bomb triggers or bullets or anything in their houses. But that was really primarily an excuse. And I found a speech my grandfather gave at the spy school in San Francisco, where he was an instructor during the war there, for the Americans. And he gave a speech in which I learned about his involvement in the firebombing, which I did not know about prior to this. But the first 20 pages are him just sort of trying to debunk the whole notion that home industry was that big a deal in terms of military products,
It's just, I was going to ask you about it, the book Exploring Human Cost of Industrial Science. You just pretty much, your grandfather was investigating. So he was a double spy. Your grandfather was a double spy.
Well, he
I'm just trying to find out.
He was a double. Yeah, he was German.
Okay.
But the company that he worked for, but he was also Jewish, and the company that he worked for grew over the years, particularly directly after World War I, into an essential part of the Hitler war machine. So the company that he was working for, they built Auschwitz. They came up with the gas that they used in the death camps. And so he became an American spy. He was like, well, I think Germany's lost, and Japan is lost. And he looked to America as a potential way out of this fascist movement.
Did you ever meet your grandfather?
No, he died many years before I was born.
Oh, well, you met him through finding his archives.
Yeah, through all this stuff. I mean, I feel like I kind of know him now. I have so many of his photos. And
so you had no idea when you found all this stuff beforehand? Like, really, what did you know of your grandfather, I guess, before you found the archives?
I had been told that he sold ink in Japan. I'd always pictured him as like this kind of sad character with a violin and, standing at a freeway off ramp with a can full of pencils.
David. Shout out to all the viewers. You guys, let us know where you're tuned in from. I see a few people here right now. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here with David Baerwald, novelist of The Fire Agent, dropping in stores, in all bookstores, come June 2nd, 2026, released by Spiegel and Grau. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, and Penguin Random House in
I almost said Spiegel. I was like, I wonder if they say Spiegel is the correct.
They might,
so everybody just check it out. You can find David Baerwald on Instagram, but you can also go and pre-order the book right now. You should do it. It's an amazing thing that this amazing human being is here with us today. Thank you again for your time. BK Han, are you here with us or are you traveling? This ominous PFP here. This is BK Han. David, just to share a little bit about how this show started. About almost 5 years ago, BK and I met through Clubhouse, and he became like my NFT mentor, making digital artifacts on the blockchain, making art, creating receipts for the creation of, so as to show proof of work and such. Anyway, that's the beginning. And there was this app called Connect Club where we hosted a show, and BK, I would here have my Pro Tools digital audio workstation, and one of my things is writing a song on the spot with a few words from our guests, which is how we built this show. So season 1 exists purely as NFTs written on the spot from a few words from our guests on an app called Connect Club. And season 2 started to be a visual podcast like it is now. So we're in season 9. This is episode 3, and we're here with David Baerwald. We're going to talk about more interesting things with The Fire Agent. That name is a good name for it, with regards to how you describe the toll of death and what, the rivers filled with bodies, and just how you write. Like you're so descriptive. So please tell me more about how difficult it's been to write this book. And did you ever want to quit?
quit writing this book?
Yeah, did you ever feel like it was just too much and you didn't know if you were going to be able to finish it? And did you ever have any
Well,
regrets about, like, I mean, I believe can you tell us about the transition from your musical life to becoming the author that you are?
you mean, how did I learn how to write books, or how did I tell all the people in the music business to leave me alone for
That one. I mean, you went on strike. I mean, I'm quoting you. I think
I did go on
quoting
strike.
you.
I went on strike quite a long time ago. I mean, I've been a reluctant musician for quite some time. I just, it's really hard to to do an art form that people just have such contempt for. It's
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on. Who has contempt for I'm a huge fan. You have so many fans around the world.
well,
You're
it's not so
talking
much that.
about.
I mean, it's not me personally. I mean, the art form is supervised and taken care of by people who have absolute contempt for it.
I see. Okay, engineered to fit a program to make money from, therefore losing
people like Spotify, Daniel Ek, who's just these are monstrous people, and
I heard something about actually that gentleman with regards to the building with the money made from
he's taking money that he's stolen from musicians, and he's investing it in weapon systems.
That's just insane. So there's an amazing singer-songwriter on the blockchain. Her name is Violetta Zeroni. I know that we want to focus really on the book right now, but just a quick touch on Violetta. She hates Spotify.
Well,
she talks about it, and she took all her music down. She won Italian, or she was on Italy's Got Talent. Anyway, she created an amazing collection on OpenSea. And a couple years ago, she sold one of her artworks as a digital collectible, a one of one, for $67,000 for 1 Bitcoin. No rights reserved for anybody except to say, I own this piece of digital artwork, which is a very cool dovetail off the industry. And those people are called Web3 artists. They're not playing by the rules of Spotify or all of the streaming networks out there. So shout out to you guys. This is what we're talking about today. BK, are you, am I audible? Do you have audio? Check. There he is.
Hi.
I would love to introduce you to my dear friend, David Baerwald, to my dear friend,
Hi,
BK
David.
Han.
Hello, how do you do? I don't see you, but hello.
Yeah. I'm on the move. Apologies. Yeah, my camera will be on soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to the show. Hi, Bessie.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for being here. I know you're very
Yeah.
busy.
Kind of busy morning.
You're going to have to get David's book. I'm going to buy a couple of them for us. Let's talk about, where is this? My notes here. What's the impossible choice that could have ended it all? Can you give that spoiler, or is that too much?
That's pretty much the spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. So that's, is there a movie being made about this book? I mean, is there some talk about screenwriting and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk too much about that, but yeah, that's
got it. Okay. Well, that's exciting. And do you feel like, so when was the last time you were in Tokyo?
Oh God. I was in my 30s. So it was, 25 years ago.
Did you ever perform there?
No.
Oh, okay. Can we talk about, let's talk about the historical and thematic depth. So it spans from the 1900s to the early Cold War, touching on chemical warfare. You pretty much summed up the book here for people to kind of get an idea about it. But what surprised you most during your research about how these elements interconnected with Farben, Bosch, the rise of fascism in Germany and Japan, and FDR spy networks? So how did you?
I mean, one of the things that drove this whole process was the similarities to our current situation, which became larger, became harder and harder to ignore. And I think it's the sort of cookie cutter methodology behind a lot of these fascist movements. The phalangists in Spain, or you see these movements, and they have the same general pattern. and it involves, political violence and assassination and secret societies. And, on one hand, you had the rise of the secret societies in Japan, who actually called themselves secret societies, the Black Dragon Society and the Dark Ocean Society and people like that, extremely powerful kind of criminal organizations. And at the same time, this is in the early 1920s, and at the same time in Germany, you had the exact same thing. You had these shadowy groups called the Black Reich and the League of Blood and all these, these same kind of people, veterans, MAGA people, make Japan great again, make Germany great again, so the similarity was very difficult to ignore and it became impossible, and you start seeing, it's like, here's step number 340, in the rise of a fascist system. You see it across, it doesn't really matter what society, or even if they call themselves fascists, if they can just be totalitarians or dictators.
Do you think that it will ever change? And if so, what can normal people like you and I and BK and just what can we do really to shift any scales?
Be strong, educate yourself, really. Don't rely on learn how to hone your critical analysis mind and try to keep track of what's really going on, because you're being lied to. We are in not just one but half a dozen psychological warfare targeting programs.
It feels that way. It feels that way.
It's always been the case. People are always trying to sell us things and this and that, but now it's actually become a little more sinister than just wanting you to buy a particular kind of toothpaste or something.
Right. Or what's in the toothpaste. So you spent your childhood in Tokyo, or a good chunk of it. And what are your happy memories there? And so when you wrote the book, how did you interweave? I mean, do you remember the moment that you were like, kind of where, I mean, like, how does one write a book? I mean, you're coming from how many years in the music industry? 35, 40 years in the music industry.
Yeah.
Having written with everybody. And then how do you just put it away? And are people mad at you? Is the music industry upset with you? You can leave that question alone, because I say to hell with them. They can just forget about it. I mean, I think an artist
some
needs
people
to
are.
do.
I mean, people. It's funny. People are hurt, or they feel like I'm
like abandoned them.
Like I'm making fun of them for not doing, or that I've abandoned them, or none of this is the case.
I was just on a call with somebody recently.
Who's mad at me?
Well, that was like pissed off when I said he's on strike from the music industry, because I think that's very poignant. You're being honest. You're being true. You're on strike from the you're like, and they were upset about that because they couldn't quantify how you could be. I don't know how anybody could actually judge anybody else really upon such a thing to say, even that.
But listen, I mean, I'm doing something else. I don't know what, there's nothing against anybody that wants to make records. And I love making records. I love making music. I love playing the guitar. I've probably never been better because I've been studying all these years too. But
I wasn't going to ask you to play any guitar, but I mean, I won't just that's enough to say that if you wanted to, I would love that. But right. I'm not going to ask you. At the end of the show, though, don't be mad at me, because that's the show. I have to take 2 or 3 words from you and BK and write a song for you on the spot, because we've continued to do that. So,
all right.
So let's see. You wanted to talk about. Can we talk about your mom? Your mom. You said she really was handling the life of LA to Tokyo and back, and kind of as a mom. That's okay. I just can't even imagine as a mother myself what a monstrosity job that is for somebody to just to make things normal again over here, like to have that kind of life. Do you ever remember? I mean, can you tell us anything about that and a little bit more about your mom?
Well, she's a fantastic person. She's a clinical psychologist. specialized in, people with extreme trauma.
Mm.
So very, very tough. She came up in the prison system. Her first clients were mentally disordered sex offenders in prison.
Gosh. Wow.
So she's very tough. She doesn't, you would think she was Dr. Ruth, she's just this nice little lady, but she is tough as nails. And yeah, she I don't know if you remember, there was a woodblock print at the Palindrome, very long. It's like 8 feet long.
Yes, I do remember it, actually.
Okay, that's something she collected in Cambodia herself during the bombing. She rode a motorcycle from, I don't know where in the hell, Phnom Penh or something like that, to this temple in the, way in the jungles that they just discovered, Angkor Wat.
You're giving me chills. That's a book in itself right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
go mom.
Yeah, she's not your basic Girl Scout cookie person,
No. Not that we don't love them too.
No,
gosh, all the moms and all the things they love. Yeah.
I would like some Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, we'll send some over to you. Music Train should have our own brand of Music Train Girl Scout cookies. That would be pretty cool. If there are any sponsors out there that would like to make that happen, definitely get in touch with us. Well, why don't we take a moment for a little bit of a shout out for last week's guest. We had the amazing David Duran and Artistry here. We're going to be doing a new show once a month called Rocket to the Moon. We're going to be doing a live concert series. So from now on, there's only going to be 3 music trains a month and 1 live concert series. You guys keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, I just would like to do a little music interlude with Susie Williams. This is an amazing song, and shout out to Susie and Michael Yost. Here we go. David will be right back. Thank you.
God was full of wine last night, so very full of wine, that he let a great secret slip, a great important secret slip. He was so very full of wine, and he said, there is no one on this earth who needs a pardon from me, for there is really no such thing. I say that there is no such thing, for there is really no such thing as sin. The beloved, he has gone completely wild. He has poured himself into me, and I am blissful, drunk and overflowing. Oh, bring all your bottles of wine to this table divine. The earth we share, and if your cellar is bare, the whole universe There is no one on this earth who needs a pardon from me. For there is really no such thing. I said that there is no such thing. For there is really no such thing as sin. For there is no such thing as sin.
I love that music video. Shout out to Brad K. Susie Williams, Michael Yost, and the video team on The Great Secret. We're back here today with David Baerwald, author of The Fire Agent, dropping on all bookstores, Amazon, everywhere you want to go to get one, June 2nd. Definitely go ahead and pre-order that. Follow David on Instagram. And if you have any questions that you'd like to ask David, I'm not promising that he'll answer them, but you can definitely post them in the chat and let us know. Let's talk about influences, comparisons, and the future. Blurbs about this book, compare it to Ken Follett, Joseph Cannon, Ellen First, and shows like The Americans. Were any specific books or films, or series influencing your tone, or do you feel more so that just organically happened? And who are some of your favorite authors?
Oh, some of my favorite authors. Well, it kind of goes by era, I just actually found my favorite book. My first favorite book, which was it's about this thick. It's called The Brave Detective, or no, The Brave Cowboy. Sorry.
The Brave. Who is that by?
I don't know. It's a little children's book.
Oh.
And
I love that, David. This is great.
That was. Sorry about this screen thing. I don't know where this came from.
What's going on? What's going on with the screen?
No, it's fine. Anyway, and then I discovered Hermann Hesse, as a young boy, and then I discovered hard-boiled detective writers like Raymond Chandler and the like.
So you've always been into thrillers and detective stories and the like, and right from early age.
Yeah.
If you could go back to, forget about TV and visuals, would you prefer to hear things on the radio instead? Audio only? Audio only.
Like audio theater?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like audio theater, but I think you get a lot from visuals too,
Speaking of which, it'd be great if you had like a pipe. Do you have one near where you could just kind of like read us an excerpt from the book or something? A pipe. I see you with a pipe and a hat. Reading. Okay, is there an audiobook coming? I think we touched on this.
Yeah. I'm going to start recording it in a couple of weeks.
That is so cool. I cannot wait. And that's going to be available on the 2nd of June as well. People can get the audiobook. Awesome. Okay, so what about a sequel for Fire Agent? Is that something that's happening or in the works?
I'm well into it. I had to,
Oh, you're well into it already. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I wrote the book initially. I didn't really know what I knew later when I started writing the book. I mean, it really was an investigative process. And so when I first started writing, I thought, oh, well, this would be a good book to write about, 3 generations of secrecy and what that does to families. And, and so that's initially the book I started writing. So I was writing my father and I was writing myself as though we were all on some sort of temporal plane together, all kind of fighting the same battles in a way, and but in very different ways and with very different tools and with diminishing authority.
Yeah. You're so funny.
So when I sold it, that was the version that I sold to Spiegel and Grau. and they said, well, this is all very well and good, but there seems to be this huge chunk missing in what we consider to be the main story. And I was like, oh, what's that? And he said, well, Ernst, of course, and we're missing 20 years. So we need those, more.
This sounds like a proposition for a sequel. Wait, did you already sign for a sequel or a deal with them? You don't have to tell me, but I mean,
no. They just wanted this book. I mean, they weren't trying to steal anything from you or anything. No.
Oh no, I meant they wanted a long book contract with you for the next, once you have.
I see. We'll see about
that.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I've never loved a company so much in my life. Cindy Spiegel is just, I wish I could have her on a keychain to just say smart things.
You could actually do that. She could prompt an AI. BK could help out with that.
I'd have to get her agreement on that. I'd feel a little creepy doing that without her say so.
Yeah, that would be a little strange. I loved you so much that I made this for you.
That I made a keychain out of it, a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Now I have to water you or you'll die.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I miss you so much. I used to work for David, guys. I was the studio gopher. Go get this, go get that. Don't play your songs for the musicians who are session players.
I was so mad. I was like, Vessi, for God's sake, don't tell the Chili Peppers that you're don't make them sing you song. And
wait, what?
Yeah, so I'm looking around for everybody when we're getting set up, and I open the back door out to the parking area, and there you are with with Chad Smith and Flea, and they're enraptured with you. They were madly in love with you, and you were like singing them your song, and I was like, oh, for God's sake! So I close the door, I go back inside, I'm just like, what is it with these young people? I mean, it was fun.
I should have listened to you because I could have learned how to be I'm an engineer now. I am an engineer, but I would have liked to have learned how to work the board that appears to be behind you. What was that? What kind
that's
of
a Daking Mark 10 behind me, or Mark 2. I'm sorry.
Was that what was in the palindrome? Was that
no?
What
it was in the palindrome. It was a Neve 8028.
Okay, so shout out also to Jason Art from the Lovesick Lunatics. I remember when I came to your gig at the Mint, and Jason was doing sound, and you had said something about I was going to meet Jason and that we would find it, we would like each other. That's just what you said. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And I met him and I was like, he's a little, it wasn't like immediate. But the point is that you really did spawn the Lovesick Lunatics, David. I don't know if I ever got to publicly thank you for, we did an amazing record. A bunch of those songs were licensed to Gilmore Girls and Bud Light and, Chris Penn, that and
Chris Penn.
Yeah. Well, Chris Penn was at Sean Penn's brother. So you know who Chris Penn is. Well, he's not around anymore. He left this world for another or who knows what. But the point is I had been busking on the Santa Monica Promenade, and I made maybe $5. I was there for hours or whatever. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't. For all of you that don't know, when you busk, you go out on the street, you play guitar, you open your guitar case or whatever, your musical instrument case, and hope that people will give you some money for the nice music that you're playing. So I had my whole pack of gear, and I was walking, and there was a cigar shop right there. And this gentleman said, oh, was it did you have a good run? Something to that effect. And I looked in, and this guy looks really familiar. I didn't know who he was, but he was familiar. And I was kind of depressed, and I was like, it was okay. He's like, well, I love to sing and da-da-da. So I went in there and sat down, and sure enough, Chris Penn sang the blues to me. I found out, who he was, that he was an actor. He was in
Did he bring you to the studio?
He actually introduced, hold on a minute here. I'm trying to think what happened. He didn't bring me to the studio. I know that you have a lot of contacts in the music industry. I believe you or Chris Penn introduced me to Tony Berg, who at the time was with Virgin Records before it closed down and turned into Artist Direct. But I don't remember how it all went down. I think he called that meeting. make that I could bring the black car record in and play it for Tony. And then he gave me a demo deal, which was great. I wrote 5 songs.
Tony was my guitar teacher when I was a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tony Berg was your guitar teacher?
Yeah, it was terrible guitar teacher. Great guitarist, but impatient
Why?
with young people.
Well, how old is Tony Berg?
He's about 7 or 8 years older than I am.
Okay. I find that.
I know it's hard to believe.
No, I know. I just
could possibly be that old. It's shocking.
No, David, that's not what I was alluding to. Tony, if you're listening, just David can always get me to say what I don't mean. He's very good at that. All right. Let's see. BK, you are back, and I don't know what you've brought up here onto stage, but whenever you're ready, if you would like to jump in, definitely go for it. In the meantime,
yeah, I'm ready.
Here you are. Okay. The stage is yours, BK, to take over.
Hi, David. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to the show. Yeah, I was hearing it all the time, but just on the move, couldn't turn on the camera.
Okay.
It was really amazing stories, and I think it's really a lot of untold stories. So those are real. Every detail are real. Or did you add a little bit of pepper and salt to make it more juicy?
Yes.
Oh, you did that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Things were sort of zipping around here. I'm sorry. Say again.
No, I mean, did you add a little bit more juicy stories to your novel?
Oh, well, I had to make up all of the interpersonal relations, the conversations people had. So yeah, I took great liberties with that. But my dad was a historian and a political scientist, and he was the co-founder of the Japan Studies Center at UCLA, and he would, I'm enough of his son to get my facts right.
So the audience that you're targeting your book for is worldwide,
everyone.
So would there be like a Japanese version?
Oh, you betcha. Yeah, we just actually sold. We're selling the licenses now. We just actually sold our first Asian license, which is Korea.
Okay.
So we're waiting on Japan. I'm sure that somebody will pick it up there. We're just now selling the foreign rights now. So it's coming out in French, Spanish, Hebrew, Italian, Korean, and I'm very anxious for Germany, Japan, and China to.
Wow, China will be a big market. Yeah. So is that your first book?
Yes.
My God.
But a lot of it takes place in China.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Vessi probably didn't tell you that I was based in China for quite many years, about 12 years.
She did not tell me that.
Yeah. So, China will be amazing, huge market. And if you have the Chinese translated copy, it will be really huge market there.
Yeah,
so
I have my confidence is high. I actually think it's a story that the powers that be in China now would probably like to see told. It touches on the Japanese looting of China after the invasion of Manchuria.
Yeah,
all through the end of World War II. Something that's never been entirely addressed for China. I'm sure that would be nice. So yeah, it's very much, there's a lot of China in this story.
Wow. So this is your first book and you really make it so big and it's global, really amazing. And I mean, how did you get there, How long from the day you started?
It took me 8 years. It took me 8 years of research and writing.
8 years, wow.
Yeah, I had to, and I quit everything else. I moved across the country. I moved from Los Angeles to the New York area. And just stopped talking to anybody, just locked myself up. Lived like I called myself the man in the iron mask. I said, sorry, I'm not here. I'm dead. Until I finished this. That was kind of the way I finished it, was deciding that I was not alive until I was done.
Wow, that's amazing. Wesley, I think we should do that. We should lock ourselves up for 8 years and do nothing except writing. That would
I
be
think
amazing.
so. If nothing else, one finds out an awful lot about oneself. So much of our time is spent performing for people. And if you're performing for someone, you're not performing for yourself. And if you're not performing for yourself, then who are you really?
Yeah, correct. I think this is a legacy. You are sort of from the grandparents, right, down to your father, and this is amazing.
Yeah, great grandparents too. No, I actually traced this whole story. I mean, I didn't write this, but I traced the story back to the end of the 13th century.
Wow.
That's how far some of this stuff goes.
Wow. Okay. Sounds good. Congratulations. I hope.
Yeah, I mean that stuff. I didn't inflict that upon the reader. I don't.
Yeah.
Here you go.
If my grandfather is around, he'd probably get a copy of this. Yeah.
I think the historian Heather Cox Richardson. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's a very well-known historian. She's the co-chair of the American History Department at Boston College, and she said on reading this book. And this is her. She said it changed her understanding. She said she'll never look at the 20th century the same way again. That it changed her understanding of the 20th century. Which
that's a profound impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Particularly with somebody like her. I mean,
I would say so.
Yeah, she's a very, very knowledgeable person.
Well, that's it, guys. Our show's over. You heard it here. I mean, what else is there to say? Go out and get the book. Pre-order the book, you guys. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you for tuning in to Music Train. BK, I can't believe that we're in season 9. We have this amazing Mr. Baerwald is here with us, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Thank you for taking the time, David, to be here today. I feel pretty special, especially since you were dead and now you're not dead anymore.
Yeah,
you're on the show.
Resurrected.
Yes. And if there's anything that we can do to further, just get the word out, I'm already going to be doing it. I might just take a bunch of little AI clips from this and just pop them all over social media so that people know what's going on. China needs to get this book like yesterday. So, I mean, that needs to happen. Too. And Germany. It'd be amazing if Singapore, BK, Singapore,
yes.
If it could be in Singapore, that'd be pretty cool. I think it should be everywhere. An important book needs to be everywhere, and never should it not be anywhere. So with that, we're going to move to this writing of a song, which is really uncomfortable because this, normally the Music Train, we're asking our guests to play the song, and I play the song at the end, but David is absolutely not going to play you any guitar today. I'm going to play you the guitar. David, am I making you uncomfortable?
Well, I it's not like this is the first I've heard of this whole guitar playing thing. It's not like you're making it sound like
Do you have it? Is it near? Could you give us just a little bit of it? Oh, yes.
No, well.
Just a little, just a petit peu?
Just a little of what?
Just a little bit F minor.
He's so good. He's just one of the best guitar players in the whole
A minor.
In the whole dang world. The guy's literally okay, so he wrote this song back in the day that I ended up covering, and it actually has a lot to do with this book because David, Silver and Gold.
What's that?
Your song, Silver and Gold. Kirk had a moment.
Silver and Lead?
No, Silver and Lead, that's right.
It's very awkward playing position. But,
so good.
Kirk had a moment of truth, oh no, but he shrugged it off like rabies and posed like a winner on the evening news while the governor kissed the babies. It's the only game in town where the handcuffs make that particular sound. The money comes straight from the highest ground, hell yeah. Silver or lead, take the money or you're dead. Kinky pictures in your bed. She was young and she was underfed. No. Anyway, I can't remember that, but here we are.
So good. Thank you. That's a serious song. Thank you so much, David. I love that song. I mean, BK, you don't know, but I mean, you'll find out. You know who, well, I won't just go into all of it. We'll talk about it later. I want to make it, I want to promise, I want to keep my promise. All right. Here we go. Okay, I think you should play. I wonder if it's going to cancel out my vocal if you play the guitar. No, I'll do.
I think there's latency on these systems.
Yeah, I was going to say. All right, so I need one word or two or three or a thought or anything.
I'm going to give 3 words. Buy the book.
Buy the book. Okay.
Buy the book. Buy the fire agent. Yeah, you really need to buy the fire agent. I think that's a great song title.
Okay, everybody mute your mic for a moment. Here we go, guys. Buy the book. You need to buy the fire agent. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the music train. Thank you so much. Where does it end? Could you tell me where does it end? It ends with you buying the book, yeah. Buying the book, yeah. Buying the fire agent book. Educating yourself, that's where it starts. That's where it is. It is your duty to know the truth and what to do with it. Buy the book, live your life, not somebody else's. And when you're standing there thinking that you have it, all you can buy time, buy the mountains that you climb, buy the treasures that you find, buy the fire agent. You are a piece of history in the halls of memory, in the walls of anarchy. Yeah. You are the fire agent. You know all there is to know, 'cause you gave it all your breath and soul. Buy the book, oh, buy the book, oh, fire agent, buy the book. Yeah. There you go. So you're probably sold out of the book now. Everybody heard the song. They went and got the book. They can't even pre-order it anymore because it would take like 10 years to receive it.
No, they can pre-order it.
That the song. See, my joke didn't land, BK, but he didn't. You know, you have to like hit the ball back. I guess maybe that he was hitting the ball back. You guys,
yes.
Yeah.
I was saying, ignore this woman. The book is actually available to pre-order now, and it's actually very helpful for me when people do, because every time somebody pre-orders a book, it frees up something like $100 in promotional budget stuff.
Let's go. I'm gonna promote it like
great.
This is great. Let's well, we're gonna get going here real soon. Let's just some final thoughts. David, if there was one thing that, and I'll of course have some time to think about this. If you could cast, you said you didn't want to talk about like the screenplay and movies and all that jazz, but if you could cast one actor to play your father, who would it be?
My grandfather?
Yeah, sorry, your grandfather. Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, I've been answering this question a lot, so I have an answer
Oh.
for you.
Okay.
Normally, I would not. Normally, I'm not very well acquainted with young male matinee idols, but
Okay.
in this case, I have learned of a fella named David, and this is a terrible name for a movie star, but it's his name, and it's a signal of how handsome this guy is that he didn't change his name. His name is David Cornsweet.
David Cornsweet.
Cornsweet. Yeah, he was Superman in the last Superman film.
And you want him to be Ernst.
I would like him to be Ernst. Yeah, it has to be somebody, relatively young because, well, it has to be somebody sort of in the middle because you have to age him down a bit and age him up a bit, so it's easier to age people up than down.
I have to tell you that I've been reading it obviously online. I'm reading it through the link, but the nanny of your dad, Kurt, when Chizuko. What's her name?
Chizuko,
when he rescues her, when he goes with William to rescue his nanny after he sees that his whole world where he had all these happy memories where once was mansions lining, that it's just decimated.
That's a true story. That was actually one of the stories that I'd known for many, many years of. His real name is Oli. He's my godfather, my father's best friend in Japan. And Oli got a hold of this car, and they were like, "Yeah, let's see if we can find our old houses." And they went there, and they just found this rubble, and all these people, living in basically man-made caves of rubble.
And he finds her, and he takes her, and even though he thinks that that his partner William, that they'll be shot if they try and save somebody, they leave their 2 bento boxes of food for the 25 people that are just, please somebody help us. Yeah,
it was a heart-wrenching scene.
Thank you for writing the book. My mom said it too. Beate, my mom, she sends a big up to you. Go, David.
Well, tell your mom that Beate Sirota was a young girl, younger than you are now, quite a bit younger. And somehow she ended up as part of this very small team who wrote the Japanese Constitution after World War II.
What?
Yeah, Beate Sirota, look her up.
Wow.
Yeah, she was on this group that the General MacArthur had assembled. And she actually, and I will say this much, there's a sequence in the book, and this is a true story as well, where Ernst and other German soldiers they were fighting Japan in World War I. And they were there to defend a place called Tsingtao, which is why there's Tsingtao beer. Or Tsingtao German lager anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, they ended up being terribly defeated by the Japanese and put into a prison camp in Fukuoka, where they lived for 4.5 years, which sounds awful, but it was actually heaven on earth. It was like a tennis club. And in thanks to the commander of the prison camp, they put together the biggest orchestra ever assembled to play Beethoven's Ninth. 400 singers, and if you Google 10,000 Japanese sing Beethoven, you'll see every year to this day there's this performance where 10,000 Japanese singers get together with the Japanese National Symphony and sing Beethoven's Ninth together as a group. And it goes back to that. And Beate loved my grandfather. And Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution is that Japan will never be an aggressor nation. It will never invade another country. And she thought that Ernst would be tickled by that. And she knew about the Beethoven's Ninth. And so she made Article 9 the peace article in this kind of secret tribute to her friend Ernst. How's that for a story?
You have me, tears are in my eyes. The Secret Tribute. David, that's so
Secret Tribute.
beautiful.
Yeah.
David. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my gosh. I feel like I could
know.
cry right now.
I didn't know. I just Google it. Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it, you guys. The best show that Music Train has had here with David Baerwald. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, both of you, and you know, stay strong.
Yes, stay strong, and may the fire agent just take over and melt hearts and minds to bring the world to where I feel like we should have been already a long time ago, without history repeating itself constantly.
Yes.
Thank you for writing the book. And you guys,
thank you for
follow David Baerwald on Instagram at David Baerwald. That's DavidBaerwald. And also pre-order Fire Agent everywhere books are sold. Thank you again for tuning into the Music Train. We'll see you next week for Rocket to the Moon, Neon After Dark with David Duran, Hardistry, and myself. We'll be doing about an hour-and-a-half concert. We'll have tickets for that, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. And you guys don't go anywhere. Just say a quick goodbye. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week.